Welcome into this edition of Writer's Block. I'm Ryan Lavner. He's Rex Hoggard. And Rex, that doesn't look like Longwood, Florida. I mean, where are you?
Hey, you guys, be quiet. We're trying to do Writer's Block. Nope. TPC Scottsdale, pal, right here in the middle of the party. As we've talked about, I've never been here before. This has exceeded expectations. This is a zoo. There is going to be 20,000 people who are drinking, reveling, doing God knows what ounce here around the 16th hole all week long. So you're going to have to speak up and you're going to have to put up with the music.
That's fine. I will talk and enunciate very clearly for you. As you mentioned, this is your first time at the WM Phoenix Open. Last year, I mean, it was affected by COVID-19. I think they had, 5,000 fans ringing the 16th with that just feels wrong. What have your impressions been midway through tournament week for a tournament, as you mentioned, in your long and storied career you've never been to?
Nothing rivals this. It's absolutely amazing. Again, it's Wednesday. We are still almost 24 hours away from a meaningful golf shot being struck. And already over the last 2 days, I've had two people, not one, but two, stop me to take their drink order. I don't take drink orders. I had to be polite and tell them I don't work here. And then I had a gentleman this morning when I arrived at the golf course that went running by me, screaming at the top of his lungs, wearing a horse head and high-fiving me. That was 5:30 in the morning, bro. I'm here for all of it. It is something different than anything you've ever seen, certainly in golf.
And like the funny part, for those of you who are watching this who have never been to this tournament, once you leave this scene, it's quiet. Like it's almost desolate. Like you were out in the desert. It's actually a very good golf course in TPC Scottsdale, but like right in the epicenter, it's absolute madness. You will see things that you've only seen on like NC-17 movies. It's definitely a raunchy scene. Rex, let's get into the golf a little bit. Brooks Koepka is the defending champion at this tournament. Quite frankly, he hasn't done much of anything since the Open Championship. What are your expectations for Big Bad Brooksy this week in Phoenix?
I was taken today when I was watching him play the Pro-Am that the blonde hair that really probably didn't go over very well when he unveiled it. I believe it was at Torrey Pines. It hits here. And I think that's going to factor into him having a good week. We've had lengthy conversations about this. You and I talked about it on the podcast this week. I think when you look at Brooks and why he is able to focus at certain events, certainly the majors are the ones we talk about the most, but it's all about the atmosphere, and it's that show me spirit that he has. He wants to prove to everyone how good he is, and it seems like this that bring out the best in him. I think it's no surprise or it's no coincidence that he's won this event twice, simply because he loves being the guy in the middle of the circus. And this is a circus, and he's going to perform at his best. I will be surprised if he does not have a solid week.
Yeah, he's only won two tournaments twice. That is the U.S. Open, and that is the Phoenix Open. You cannot get more polar opposites in
What do those have in common?
Than those two tournaments. But look, I think every great player has a little bit of showmanship, and I think Brooks really revels in that, as you mentioned, having 50,000 fans, many of them cheering for him, some of them probably heckling him. There's just a little bit of it where he can turn around and say, hey, watch me do this. That's exactly what he did on the 71st hole last year, chipping in on the 17th hole. I'm with you. He has not done much of anything over the past 6 months, but I do expect Big Bad Brooksy to get back and right the ship and have a good week here in the desert. Rex, this is your first time in Phoenix. I've been there too, but you've also been a tour veteran and seen a lot of things on the PGA Tour. I know that no tour stop can probably rival Phoenix in terms of the sheer wackiness, but I mean, there's some stops along the tour, and including on the Florida Swing, that are at least sniffing this sort of madness, are they not?
They can try. I think they've done a pretty good job at the Honda Classic. They've certainly done a good job at the Players Championship. TPC Sawgrass, that 17th hole can be a scene. But if I'm being condescending, compared to this, it's cute. Like what other tournaments does is just cute. Yet there's no way to do this. There's no way for other tournaments to have a build-out that's like a small city. You pointed out, last year there was just 5,000 people allowed on property total. And we're going to have 20,000. I would guess we're probably pretty close to that today. 20,000 on a Wednesday of a Pro-Am day. I don't think you're going to get that anywhere in golf. I don't know that you get that anywhere in sports.
There's a big difference, though, Rex, because when you look at the 16th hole at TPC Scottsdale, it's a pitching wedge. It's a 9-iron. It's at most an 8-iron if the wind is blowing back in you. I will say, though, having covered a number of Honda Classics, That 17th hole in the bear trap with fans literally on top of you, drinking beer and being there for 12 hours a day, that is an intimidating shot. That's not like you're flicking a wedge up there. I mean, that's a 5-6 iron with water fronting the green, a very thin, narrow green, bunker left, which is absolutely dead. Obviously, water short. To me, that is a scarier shot. This is a scarier atmosphere, if that sort of makes sense for what you're going to get in Phoenix.
I think I would agree with you. I think it's a more demanding shot. We were talking about it earlier today with Damon Hack on Golf Today, and I'm just going to throw this back at you because you recently found your golf game at TPC Sawgrass. What shot would you rather hit, the 17th under pressure with a crowd, or whatever's happening behind me here today?
Oh, I would rather hit the 16th for sure. I mean, fans might boo you, but you can make an enormous number at TPC Sawgrass if you're a little bit shaky. You can be.
You're
long,
okay with fans booing you?
You can be short. The drop zone from 80 yards is no picnic either. I mean, you could spin it back off the front of the green. No, there's a lot that can go wrong at the Island Green. Of course, I had no such problems. I hit it front right,
sure,
chipped it up, and made it about a 7-footer for par. So I really didn't have any difficulty during my 4-birdie 77 that I shot on Monday. But no, I would much rather have the 16th. All right, Rex, let's go rapid fire here. Yeah. Yeah, rapid fire here. TPC Scottsdale is actually a super underrated track on the PGA Tour schedule. I'm curious, what's a better hole? The 16th, which you are currently at, or the 17th, the drivable par 4 at TPC
better
Scottsdale?
For what? To have fun? I mean, clearly it's going to be the 16th
Better
hole.
drama. Better drama.
I appreciate you guys. I appreciate my take. I'm going to go with 17. It's just a better hole. It's a good hole. I mean, I had Jaime Diaz on yesterday's show change my mind. I've always been in the belief that the 10th hole at Riviera is the best short par 4 on tour.
That's tricked up. It's too tricked up.
Well, and he changed my mind. And I talked to some players and talked to some stats guys and some swing coaches. The 17th here is such a well-designed hole. The water's in a perfect place. If you look at going for the green success, you had almost 20% of the players who went for the green last year reach the green successfully. That's something to celebrate. The 10th at Riviera, that number was barely 2%.
Yeah, I feel like the 10th at Riviera has almost gone a little bit too far. There's like a 3-foot window that you have to put the ball in short and left of the green that actually allows you to have a very straightforward look for your birdie. While the 17th, anything can happen, especially when you get to that back pin right where you're going to have potentially some chipping off the putting surface. To me, it is a great hole. I'm with you. The 17th is a better hole than even the 16th at TPC Scottsdale. All right, let's move on this week. Rex, loaded field, 15 of the top 20 players in the world. Who you got?
This one's tough, and I'm going to make it quick because I'm in between Jon Rahm and Patrick Cantlay. They both played great. I guess if you're going to hold me to it, I got to go with Cantlay just because I feel like he's played so well to start this year. All he needs is a good putting week, so give me Patrick.
Yeah, I'm not sure Jon Rahm and Patrick Cantlay are going to play poorly ever again. I tweeted that out in January. I'm sticking by it now after a couple events. We've seen no evidence that that's going to be different. I'm going to go with Justin Thomas. He has really started to turn the corner with his game ever since that tie for 4th at the Tour Championship. Seems like he's getting really close, just needs to wake up the putter a little bit. All things seem to be clicking well with his new caddy, Jim Bones Mackay. I think this is a good week. You talk about showman with Brooks Koepka. JT is as flashy as they come. I think he would relish an opportunity to get a W in the desert. Rex, there's also not just the Waste Management Phoenix Open going on. Real quick, before we get to the Solheim Cup, who you got in that tiny little football game on Sunday?
The tiny little football game, I've thought a little bit about this. I guess I got to go with L.A. I seem like they're the more complete team, but I think Cincinnati would be the better story.
Better story than Matthew Stafford after years of suffering in Detroit. Getting
good, but Broadway Joe, man, that dude's fun to watch.
I'm going with my dude, Matt Stafford and Sony Michel.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. The Rams 31-27. All right, let's move on. Solheim Cup. There was some news on Wednesday of Waste Management Phoenix Open Week, and that was Stacy Lewis being the youngest American captain ever named. She's still playing some very high-level golf, but she was named the Solheim Cup captain for 2023. She will be pitted against Suzanne Pedersen, the heart and soul of so many European sides. To me, Rex, this is about as compelling of a captain's battle as you could possibly have. Give me who has the edge in terms of leadership ability, strategic-wise, however you want to go with that. Who has the edge in those two captains?
I mean, this is going to be a recency bias for me because we had the opportunity to interview Stacy this morning on Golf Today, and I walked away with two thoughts when it comes to Stacy. One, that's what leadership looks like. She seems to have such a clear plan. She seems to already know exactly what she wants from her team. She seems to already know exactly what kind of captain she's going to be. And the other half is, after the United States has lost back-to-back Solheim Cups, I kind of thought of Stacy Lewis as a one-person task force. Everything we did on the men's side for the Ryder Cup, I feel like she has the ability. The women's side, that's such a clear plan.
This is like such a captain's battle that I'd love to see it for the next decade. I know I'd love to see like a Christy Kerr get a couple spins in that leadership role. I think she'd be phenomenal as well. I think Suzann Pettersson, I'm kind of hoping, Rex, that there's like some rules drama, because I'm not sure you could find two more tenacious players during their heyday than these two. Give me some drama, just like Suzann Pettersson was embroiled in a couple years ago. Stacy Lewis will not back down. Suzann Pettersson will not back down. I'm going to be covering that Solheim Cup, God willing, in Spain next year. So give us some drama. Give us some great storylines. Rex, I've kept you long enough. This has been an 11-minute writer's block. I know you want to get in the action. I know you want to go have some beer. What are your plans for the rest of your Wednesday?
Actually, I got some work to do. I got some players I want to track down, and then we got some dinners tonight to go to. It's going to be fun.
What about the beers? What about the beers?
I think you know me well enough. There's a couple local IPAs that I have particularly fallen in love with, so I'll be heading in that direction soon.
Make it a double, please, sir. Enjoy the show, Rex. We will be doing writer's block on Sunday night. I don't know when we're going to do it, Rex. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. We're going to do it during the first quarter. We're going to do it during the halftime show. I kind of like to see Dre and Kendrick Lamar and Mary J. Blige in the halftime show. So we're going to figure it out. We will come to you guys, though, on Sunday to wrap up the Phoenix Open. Rex, enjoy your beers. I'm going to just go enjoy Knock Life. Thanks for watching this edition of Writer's Block. We'll see you in a couple days.